Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks, and Crypto TA live stream. This is an educational and analysis live stream about stocks and crypto charts. Today is October 8th, 2023. It's just before midnight here, Eastern Standard Time, or 12 o'clock a.m. And this week, it's going to be possibly a volatile week. The breaking news, unfortunately, terrible, horrible breaking news over the weekend is country of Israel was attacked by Hamas, and there's a war announcement. So Israel is at war against this group who attacked them, and the stock futures and oil futures and Forex has been volatile after that announcement as well. Now, to add on to that news, this week is the start of USA stock market earnings season, quarter 3. So we're going right into stock market earnings season. Last week, within the USA Congress, there was political unrest and some Speaker of the House changes after that government shutdown deal was signed. So the shutdown was averted for 45 days, but there is great political unrest with even the Speaker of the House being removed from his position, voted out. So, in terms of what's ahead, tomorrow is a bond market holiday. It's Columbus Day. It's not a major holiday here. The stock market is still open this entire week. Cryptocurrencies, the price has not moved that much, so it's less direct volatility. Now, in terms of the stock market earnings that are coming out this week, big finance and banks are starting. We also have Pepsi, Delta Airlines, Domino's Pizza, Fastenal, Walgreens, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citibank, United Health Group, and Progressive. Will be interesting to watch Progressive as well. The economic data we have coming out this week, especially later in the week, core CPI, PPI, these are two inflation marker data points, unemployment claims as well. And we have the FOMC meeting minutes from last month, which is going to give us some more insight. So all of this combined, the summary is we have greater risk than just 1 or 2 weeks ago in the market. Why? First major risk was the Hamas attack on Israel and the war announcement. That's major. We haven't had a major war announcement sort of like that since the Russia versus Ukraine war. It's almost like 2 years ago almost, right? So that's why we do not want a repeat of that. So the news on CNBC right now, the US is sending a carrier strike group closer to Israel and will begin supplying munitions. Okay, so it's kind of a big deal. I will be watching the charts very closely, and the second point is stock market earnings season, so it could get very volatile this month. Now, going into stocks, let's look at futures first because of what's been happening. All right, and as a stock trader, okay, unfortunately, bad things happen in the world, and it affects the market. So there could be a lot of bad things happening, but right now it's the war announcement. And in terms of the S&P 500, these are delayed futures, but we do see a pullback, okay? We do see a reaction to that and the start of that in terms of this gap down over the weekend here. And so it's down about almost 73 basis points. And just what I want to point out here is lower low, lower high. If things continue to go bad, if the war gets worse in Israel and we have bad stock earnings, that could be enough negative catalyst to push the market down further. So that's what I'm warning people about is if it doesn't get better this week in terms of direct stock market earnings, to watch out for more downside. And then watch out for that volatility spilling over into the cryptocurrency market. All right, so in terms of, we'll just take a quick look also at NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures also pulling back this delayed data, but is down about 84 basis points, less than 1%, as well as the NASDAQ and Dow Jones futures, Russell 2000 as well, with a 0.88 pullback, and it's even lower, right? A little bit even lower. So take a quick look at oil futures. It was the reverse because of supply and demand factors in the Middle East, and gapped up 4%. Also, natural gas, we finally had that gap up, like I was talking about. So, on a UNG chart, this would be like 7 something. But this is what we want to see in terms of the volatility. It's been edging up in this uptrend with the triple bottom with the rectangle breakout. So that's what's happening right now. All right, so backing up into the actual ETFs, this is why sometimes it's good to look at future ETFs, especially for a day trader, because on this investing basic ETF, that SPY and the QQQ, I don't see the volatility happening yet. So I'm going to skip those today, okay, because we don't see the pullback on any of these yet. So it's good to look at futures when you have breaking news over the weekend. So right here again, S&P 500 pulled back down, NASDAQ down, Dow Jones down, and Russell 2000 also down. Keep in mind that we are in all 4 of these charts, except for the NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ's the only one that has a double bottom support, which is why on my Twitter last week, I released that watch list, which I don't release a watch list all the time. I release it usually around a catalyst. So we have this double bottom here on tech stocks, which is why I'm alerting people to that. But keep in mind, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We also had double bottom, but it's pulling back over this weekend. And so if things go bad, again, I'm not expecting this to rally because the market is and the world and the market is too negative right now, right? So watch out for that support level right about 14,676. Futures on SPY as well. I'm jumping around just to show the difference here, okay? If we draw these multiple support lines, watch out for this 236 right here around 4,200 area on the SPY. Jump into Dow Jones, we can see lower low, lower high, lower low as well, right? If things went good, we should have had this lower high bounce. So just keep in mind the 34,000 level, the support level at 3316 down here, okay? And again, Dow Jones, it's inside of this channel, but as well, watch it for this head and shoulders. If this goes bearish, that could be a negative 4% drop, and we're not even close to there yet, right? So just watch out for that if that happens. Now, Russell 2000 as well, we had a head and shoulders already in the market that was breaking bearish. If we pull back, it could go down the full 8%, which we're almost there around 1700. If we zoom out, you can see a larger support on the Russell 2000 that has been broken to the downside. We just lost that support level, so just watch out for that. Dollar US index. So US dollar index futures almost gone parabolic here. And we draw that support line any day now. If we lose that support below 106, 105 area, this could pull back significantly on the US dollar. We hit that RSI with that bearish divergence. You want to watch out that's not going to pull back down to 104 level. See, I'm going to skip Brent futures because light crude oil futures are the one that bounced up. This could also be viewed as an oversold bounce, right? H4, and then the war announcement happened in Israel. So it's unfortunate, but the markets have a reaction. The algorithms also have a reaction to any news. So it's riding that support and had that gap up. So now it's going to see if it's going to break out and retest anywhere to like 89 or the 90s dollars range. We're looking at futures right now and it's delayed data. Now, natural gas, it had a uptrend breakout rally. I want to point out to people, maybe shrink my watch list. If we look on the left chart, it was in a very, very severe downtrend, low, high, deep low, lower high. But then we bottomed out here in about April 2023. So sometimes the futures chart, the natural UNG natural gas chart looks different than this one. And then it started to kind of edge up here and go upstairs and went consolidated. And then we had this breakout. So if somebody wanted to play this and try to understand why did this happen, We had support and we had resistance. We also had a resistance sideways, and it was ascending triangle breakout. So if this ascending triangle is true, over time, natural gas could go the full 40% breakout on this chart to $4. Could go to 350 as well. If you're not sure, you could open a volume profile. I'm using a visible range volume profile. And you can see there wasn't that much support. Let it load. There wasn't that much support below the $2 or $1.70 range. So that's why it's kind of up here in no man's land. But once it gets here in $4 range, that would be a very nice target, possibly even upper 470s. Now, gold futures had a little bit of a bounce. And why is this happening? Because there's correlations, but also because of safe haven kind of asset. It didn't hit the full support on the bottom side of this area, which would be about 1762, but it hit a relative support area just above it at about the 1800 level. So if it's going to stop there, hit the oversold bounce, see that possibly bounce up to about 1900. You can see the triangle as well. It fell out of. So gold can try to hit this 1900 level again, maybe even higher, 1950. Silver finally hit the support on futures. Silver support. And we can see this big support here managed to create a pivot point in the market. We closed that off. And very similar to gold, we can have a $22 right here is our target, and $23. Thank you so much for following and watching. Appreciate it. Also, thank you for the donation and supporting the stream and watching. Appreciate it. Thank you. Silver futures, so the target $22 and $23 as well. And you just want to watch to see that it's not just going to gap up and then fall back down. It could do that, but we want to see like a nice healthy uptrend happening. Copper futures, HG1. It is in the downtrend, right? Since August, very, very short-term downtrend, but we're going to see if this trend changes or not on the daily. Trend change can look something like this. Could just reverse and go up, or long-term pull back, make a higher low, and then keep going higher. So I want to see, it hasn't really developed yet. The resistance on this right side could be the target. Somewhere over here, about 370 area. Want to watch the support at 354. Okay, let's do a quick overview. Quick rapid fire. If anybody has a request or question for chart, just let me know. Let me refresh. But we're going to do some sector ETFs and then some global indexes and then crypto. XLK, nice bounce off that support level. See if that can sustain or not. XLC, also double bottom bounce. XLRE, real estate had a deep fallout here, but in that, still above that $32 range. See if that gets a nice bounce or not. I mean, this could all change tomorrow, 6:30, 9:30 a.m. in USA market time. If we have a huge dump tomorrow or dump in the market, crash for 3 days, for the whole week, that's why I'm preparing. I'm always looking at the support downside, preparing for risk. Because if I was in a trade, I'm not in XLRE for full transparency. If I was in the trade, the stop loss is only 3% down. Whereas the 2-to-1 ratio would be way up here at $35.62. So that's quite a long ways to go. And if it never gets there, it's understandable in the market right now. Energy, we had this pullback, but it did pull back down to like 84.40 to see if we're going to try to get this $88 bounce. Now, it could be creating a head and shoulders, and it might do that. We're going to see if it fills the gap here at $88 or not. Something like XLI, when it penetrates deep like that, let's put up a Fibonacci. Only the 382, so it's not the 618 or 50%, so this could definitely go even lower. But if it bounces up to 104, that would be nice. XLV is under the trend line. It appears back into it. See if earnings starting off with UNH this week, how that goes. Nice hammer candle here on XLP. Just going to watch to see if that support holds or not. XLF as well with that kind of V-shaped recovery. You might not be able to see it on your screen well. SMH with the attempt, higher low trend change attempt. Let's see if that breaks out or not, or gets rejected. It's still making a higher low pattern, which is okay. Now, some global indexes, just rapid fire. Let's go down. This is China right now. China's still in the downtrend for this entire year. But on the weekly, it's not even super oversold on the weekly. And if I zoom out this way, it's lost the 618 level and the symmetrical triangle. So it's not a complete free fall. There is some bullish momentum, but that might be quelled by the war announcement this week. Japan, Nikkei 225 did hit oversold. So just off that, the algorithms we're going to see, are we going to reject down to back down to support 3425 and see if we can hold that. Maybe it will bounce, but again, market conditions right now, and the resistance is 31,800. Hong Kong as well, it kind of like at this lower area of the descending wedge trend line. There's a lot in here. Let me just erase it. There's a lot of markings on this chart. You can see it's still in the downtrend for the entire year. Box that in. And obviously, descending wedge pattern right at the support level. And there is a little bit of bullish momentum. I will know this is in trouble when I lose this horizontal support level just around 17,000. Euro next, it hit the 382 level support, and we're trying to see if it's going to hold there or not to try to get a potential support bounce or not. UKX, I just drew this box here for next time to say there's a potential support entry I'm looking at, support here as well. And we had a nice intermediate bounce, hit that support on like an oversold H1 chart. See if that's going to bounce up or not, because there's a large circle support gap down here below that it could fill if things get worse. So earnings, just to take a quick pit stop here, that USA earnings is starting Tuesday. So that's why it's imperative, very important to not ignore that, because if more than 50% of the major earnings in terms of finance and banking and tech stocks, okay, because it's been high, uptrending so high for 1 year straight, and especially for this type of, for Sense X as well, we've been uptrending for a year straight, and now we're either going sideways or going down. So we don't want it to crash right now. We don't want it to crash right now. So that would be very, very bad for everyone around the world. But we just want to make sure we're holding supports, right? So we're going sideways right now on the Sense X, have it to bounce off of that bottom there. And if we could hold inside of the channel, that would be good. Can also draw a parallel channel to go sideways, and now we understand. Almost looks like it's not quite upside down head and shoulders. Let me see on the H4. Maybe on the H4, that might occur where it's upside down and we might bounce up to the upside after the volatility subsides. Toronto Stock Exchange unfortunately fell below this area that I circled last time. We did not hold that support. It did reach the oversold level here on the TSX, on the RSI as well. So see if that H4 is a double bottom on the RSI. Once the volatility and bad news, hopefully it ends fast. Hoping it can bounce back up to almost 19,786. If not, where's the next level down? The next major level down, 18,283, way down here. So we don't want that to happen. 18,665 as well. Let's see, the TASI. Now that's been in a free fall since October 1st, approaching the 618. And there was that head and shoulders from last time, long time ago, that if I measure it with 7% to the downside, we're almost at that target 10,500. So watch out for that if anybody's trying to play this or trade this. Australia, unfortunately, also lost the support of this yellow trend line I'm moving on the bottom side. And once that goes low, high, low, high, low, as well, we're at this support level of about 7,000. We don't want to have a perpetual downtrend for the rest of the year. Not perpetual, but for annual downtrend. We want to watch out for that. We just hit the 618 level and it's oversold. Some momentum starting to build up. Now, if this is going to turn into a real uptrend, it needs time, 30 to 40 days, trading days, to actually reverse. One quick bounce is not enough for me. I do see the momentum building. I do see the oversold, but I need to see more evidence that this is going to actually sustain to the upside. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think that pretty much does it. Let's move on to crypto. Oh, somebody has a request. Very quickly, CBOE, CLS, and CME. There's a request here. Okay, so if you just joined the chat, I would highly recommend to rewind to the beginning because we're about to start stock market earnings season. We also have the Israel war conflict and announcement that happened this weekend. So that could be two catalysts for volatility in the marketplace right now. And the war is bad, so that's already leaning it towards the bearish side or bearish reaction initially tomorrow. But as well, if corporate earnings are bad, we could have a sustained downtrend on the USA stock market. So if I look at these, all I'm going to say is CBOE still in the uptrend on the daily chart. CBOE. Now, the way I would analyze this is put a support on the downside, bottom side, and put a resistance on the upside, still in the up cross, golden up cross. So in this particular case, maybe I might use a Fibonacci extension to get some targets. And now you see it's not random anymore. And the next level, 1272 and 1618 on the Fibonacci are the two targets on the upside. You could also use pivots. It's above that pivot point. That's good. So you could also see the pivot points match the Fibonacci as well. So just watch out for that. And, high, low, high, low. I'm not going to give too many targets this time because this is more education only. So it's in an uptrend. So hopefully it keeps uptrending. CLS, Celestica. This is also still in an uptrend on the NYSE chart. This one I might use a weekly chart because it's so volatile. Now let's check if it's at not quite the highest price of all time. So that's why I like to use a weekly chart and understand where am I in this chart. Fibonacci backwards. And we could see we're almost hitting that 618. So that's weekly 618 is about $33 and see if it's going to get there or not. The problem is it's already in the deep overbought territory. So at some point, if this starts to round out and fold over, then I personally would not buy that. It's a little bit too high for my taste as a long, but so long as this support level holds, I mean, it could keep riding up here, but it's been riding up for quite a while. But that's that upside target that I'm seeing, and there's a whole bunch of pivot targets above as well. Now the third request, CME exchange, a group. This is interesting. Had a rectangle box breakout and way above the support trend line. So this looks like a bounce, EMA bounce play. On the weekly as well, it's been up for a long time. So there could have been some kind of news breakout that I haven't heard of yet, or just the support play double bottom. And where's the next levels up in terms of target? Just hit that R2 pivot point. There's R3, R4, and R5 above here. I could also use the same Fibonacci extension tool. And I'll do it here. This is kind of a smaller, lower one. We already hit that 618. This is interesting, just kind of consolidating here, and then we finally had that breakout. So if I was going to play this breakout, a little dangerous because it already broke out. Again, I would have bought the double bottom down here as an educator, and keep in mind the earnings are coming up on October 25th. It's only a couple weeks from now. So the support level is on 2% below and the 4% target above 222. So hopefully, this is just education. They're all still in the uptrend according to EMAs, but what's not on the chart that's factored in at this time of making this video is the Israel war volatility reaction in the market and stock market earnings season starting on Tuesday, as well as inflation data later in the week. Okay, let's go to crypto. Welcome everybody to crypto section of my live stream. This is educational and analysis only. If you have requests, let me know in the live chats. Thanks so much for following and watching. TOTAL crypto. Now, what's interesting to see just from a technical analysis standpoint is there's not as much bearish volatility in reaction to the war news. So something to just watch out for. It's pretty quiet right now. Sometimes it's bad when crypto gets quiet, right? Because it's like, what does that really mean? Not much activity. So this resistance is still here on the top side, about 1.22 trillion. And we have the bottom side support as well. We're just writing that right now. This could be, it's not perfect, but it could be viewed as a type of ascending triangle. So this could explain why people are not panic selling right now, because according to TA, this is supposed to be a bullish pattern, assuming that we're not going to have a worldwide market crash or correction that continues, right? This should be uptrending according to textbooks, maybe about 60% of the time, approximately. So if we measure the whole ascending triangle, it should break out 62% theoretically if everything goes well. That target would be about $2 trillion in the total market cap. So that's the big target up here. But first it has to go to 1.56. And it needs to hold here. We do have the upside down head and shoulders that still exists on the daily. That's why probably a lot of people are not panicking right now. It's right at the neckline, right at support 1.05 trillion. Does everyone see that? Upside down. And then breakout. We just back tested this. So as long as we don't crash below 1.05 or below 1.02, we should be actually okay. High, low, and hopefully we get a higher high this month at some point. The full measure move of this should be 7.5%, and then double that. Let's just round it up to about 16%, 1.22. So these are the two targets that I have right now. Watch out for this support, the $1 trillion. Hopefully we don't lose that support level this month. Quick detour to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance as well, showing an upside down head and shoulders. However, it's not as powerful because we've been in this uptrend channel on the dominance for so long that it's just barely surviving here above the 49% range and try to get a higher high, trying to push Bitcoin higher. Take a quick look at Bitcoin futures. These are also delayed as well. But part of the reason I longed last week, even though the volatility and the outlook might be kind of negative right now, is because of this technical pattern. The upside down head and shoulders on crypto can be very powerful if it sustains and works, but we need to continue the momentum to the upside for bulls, right? So the downside risk is about negative 10% for me only, and the 20% target to the upside, but it could take 30 to 60 days. It takes a long time for swing trading sometimes to play out. Now on the weekly, there is some weekly MACD momentum that's building. I like it as well. The only problem is we're below, you see this yellow support line? We're below that right now. That's not good. We were supposed to in August rally to the upside. That didn't happen. So we're still under here. So this 10 or 20% bounce that we might get this year, assuming we don't crash, it still has a lot of work to do. Crypto market and Bitcoin, a lot of work to do to get past 32,000 and to break into that uptrend trend line and then start going up again. So that's why I'm not 100% excited about this price action that I've circled here. It's just a temporary double bottom in the market, temporary. So let's go to real Bitcoin chart. So the real Bitcoin chart, like a BTC USD, look at Bitstamp, for example. We need to not go below 25,000 and we need to break above 30,000, 32,000 to get people excited about crypto again. And so the easy thing to do is just set alerts. $30,000 Bitcoin cross price. Very simple. Just have 3 alerts. Now, if I put this into a parallel channel, I could look at it this way as well. Parallel channel. We're right at that middle heart line. I call it the heart line, the half line area, right in the center of it. So you can also draw a whole bunch of diagonal trend lines like this. So now there's a symmetrical triangle. We're inside of a horizontal rectangle as well. And it's uptrending off of an upside down head and shoulders. That's why it's definitely possible this thing could just bounce and break right up to 31,000, but that requires worldwide bulls to buy crypto this month or next month. Sooner the better, just to hold this uptrend to stay. We need this happening in the purple vertical area. We need this happening again, where it's just green, 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 green. Worldwide buyers back in July. And then we could take some profit. The traders or swing trader, day traders could do that. Totally fine. Now, if we pull up some EMAs, Bitcoin, finally, we're above the turn EMA. We had a little bit of a brief little scare here in the market below 25,000, right? And then we're powering back into it, 28,000. So that's why the symmetrical triangle, if I just measure the sim triangle, it should be that 10% breakout, which takes us to the top of the triangle. That's why. Just understand the risk, though, is if I buy randomly right now, my stop loss is much closer, only about 5% down. So it's like 26K Bitcoin. And that's what we need to see happen. The uptrend continuation. I do like the price that it's going up as such. Okay, if it's going sideways or down, we've the much bearish story, but it's going up, so it's okay. Ethereum USD. First, look at Ethereum. So Ethereum's been in a downtrend since April, like in the blue drawings. Now, if I tighten this up, it's in a symmetrical triangle as well. That's riding that lower support area, upside down, head and shoulders. It's not really perfect. It's more of a triple bottom type of psychological. And we have this double top resistance as well. So Ethereum very slowly going up trending. If somebody can see that. High, low, higher, low, higher, high. If we hold here, best case scenario is 1,800 Ethereum at some point, somewhere in October or November, if we get this pattern to play out. Now, the exact opposite, just to make sure people understand, is if the market dumps for a week or two straight, stocks and crypto, then we could easily see it go back down to 1,500 as well. So what's that downside risk right now if I just randomly buy? -2 to -6% to the downside risk. Trying to capture about 10% on the upside for a medium swing trade of my own account. Okay, so this is just an educational example. Binance Coin. Binance Coin as well. This can be interpreted 2 ways. Now, it is in a descending triangle, which is bearish. However, sometimes when the price rides this support line, sometimes it bounces to the upside. Now, where would that be? It'd be $220. There's a hammer candle as well. We just don't want to see it have sustain and lose all this support down here, $200, and just crash. We don't want to see that. So just really tightening up here. If we pull up a Bollinger Band, it's literally going sideways. So I know we're in the symmetrical triangle here. We need to watch out for that. Just keep an eye on that. Solana had a very nice, let me open up my crypto. Solana had a very nice rally And this is what I was saying about a week or two ago. Watching this support level that I'm moving here is it's in a large symmetrical triangle. And remember that risk, the 2-to-1 risk, it happened. It already happened. So this is why, this is just my personal swing trading style. Larger stop loss, larger targets, larger amount of time, medium-sized capital. Because when I see something like this going down, and then all of a sudden it stops going down, it did not go down in September. It actually held. So that's a higher low. And then textbook pattern, we're going higher. And another way to verify that is put a resistance ceiling or an alert right up at the yellow line and put a support level here. And then I boxed it in the price. So any major move above or below my yellow box or my blue box here, that's grounds enough to probably go long or go short. If it goes up like this, immediately long that. If it goes down below this, probably take short. The odds are higher. Let me erase this. It's just educational. I'm not telling anybody to do anything here. But if I put this in a box, let's say like this, let me put 2 yellow lines. In my mind, it's more like 50-50% chance. Is if it breaks up and goes above here, it's probably leaning long. It's like 2 balance scales. If it goes up, probably going long, and then just buy some and put a stop loss below the previous candle. And this is a huge target. 20% is absolutely wonderful. But you only had to go 6% or 12% to get the full nice 2-to-1 reward. But if the price, let's say, crashes, let me rewind and put in a box like over here. If it crashes and it goes down, there's probably a higher chance that it'll go down 1, 2, or 3 candles. And that's a short opportunity. Put a stop loss, previous candle, 3%, target 6%, exactly hit the target, sell, sell, sell down here. That's what somebody did on this particular candle, if you know your candlesticks. And then you just get out of that trade and take profit, right? So that's how I look at the charts. Also, there's a giant upside down head and shoulders when the neckline breakout and the measured move. I just bet it's 15 to 30%. Right here, 15%, right in the smack in the middle. Literally, people sold. So those types of things, was it risky 2 weeks ago? Yes, nobody wanted to buy crypto 2 weeks ago with all the SEC news. But if you're a trader, if I'm a trader and a technical analyst on my own time, when I see something like this, okay, maybe I might want to at least set an alert, or some people might do breakout orders up here. It's really easy on TradingView. For any beginners out there, you just right click, add the alert, and you just add it. And you just tell the computer, you tell the system what you want. Solana crossing the price of what price? Let's say $21 every single time. Solana price $21 potential breakout entry. That's all you have to do for an alert. And then it's up to you and me and my exchange if I want to actually buy this thing or not, right? So again, let's keep going down. Cardano with, again, here's like this little box thing, right? Some people call it Darvis box, but I just call it a channel, right? If you have a very short-term play like this, that there's a double bottom opportunity at 24 cents here, and then the resistance is at 26 cents, and it is coming down, but it could hold that area as well. If this is a true double bottom play, it should go 5 to 10%, which goes to 27 cents or goes up to 28 cents, which is still in the bounds of my risk reward educational example box. And the stop loss could be somewhere like 4%, somewhere around there. And that's still a 3-to-1 or at least 2-to-1 play. Now this support that I'm moving right here needs to hold for this whole month, 25 cents. If we lose that, then I would, in my mind, I'm like, oh, short it down then a little bit, or I'm not going to play this one anymore, or just wait. So my preferred entry was here, down here in A, B maybe, C maybe if it gets down there again. XRP as well, I like this in terms of the general structure. Now it can crash back down here to 48-cent range, which is the lower support bound, but it's still attempting an uptrend. So just watch very closely that it doesn't crash down below 50 cents and try to bounce up to 55. AVAX as well, like this is what I'm saying. Almost everything was oversold because of market crash, and I went long crypto, and so a lot of things got short squeezed out. AVAX with the 30% bounce, I mean, it doesn't really get better than that. Now, would I enter now personally? No, I would not enter now because this thing's already selling off. It could pull back down to the 50% retrace area somewhere, even lower than that based off closes. Maybe 950 could be that area we get some value. DOT still trying to hold its support, see if it holds that this month or not. Same thing with Dogecoin with the nice little emoji there from TradingView. 6 cents is that support level. It needs to not go below that. Shiba Inu as well. You can see a lot of crypto coins, they have this horizontal support level. It's pretty much easy, and or like a horizontal resistance. It's pretty much easy to watch and see what's breaking out or not. See the same patterns over and over. Matic had its double bottom and nice breakouts, 10% up. And so now that first trade is done, it's back testing the previous level, which is now a support level. It's tightening up on a short-term time frame. See if that's which way that's gonna break. Now Cosmos, you can see here the double top as well. Now I would box this in 3 lines as such here, right? Box that in. So resistance target 750, immediate support target 680, and then 620 as well. Near tightening up still. Let's get some real trend lines up here. This could also be more of a descending triangle, but still, a lot of cryptos have the same idea. Triple or quadruple bottom with a visible resistance. So almost every altcoin, I'm using almost the same analysis on this, is if it's going to hold support, I might buy some. If it's going to rip up and break out to the top, might want to long that. If it's going to break down, might want to short it some, right? So just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Litecoin as well. Upside down head and shoulders is a major coin. And same thing, the temporary ceiling at above $70. Once we break above 70, we might be home free to go 18-20% up to $79 or $80. Would like to see that happen. Now, if it doesn't, no problem. It could crash back down to 62 or 58. That's the downside short target. So it's not really that complicated. The only thing is if we're going to consolidate here for a long period of time, it gets a little more complicated. But I want to see, it's like, again, 50% chance for me in just some kind of Darvas box mentality is it going to break out or is it going to break down? Very simple. Chainlink, also, this was same thing, right? You have this a triple bottom with a triple resistance, and then it breaks out. But do I want to buy it now? No, I'm not interested in that. As swing trader, no. It's MACD down crossed. It's too high. This could become the higher. This could become the lower high, right? The parabolic move is over. So it could go lower low, lower high. And then if it rejects down, where's it going to? $7, $6.60 as well. Let me check the requests. Okay. I don't see any. So Tron was already in an uptrend, is similar to Link as well, Bitcoin Cash as well. Although it's hit the top of this area, the resistance below 235. So high, low. See if that's going to go to like 253 or not. Right there. It's right at the support level in this dotted line. I'm going to arrow it for next time, the support level. See if we hold that or not this week. 220. Ethereum Classic as well. Box in it. Just box the price in. And then if I want significant moves, $17 or $14.60. Algo, a little bit more angled as such. Can draw it like that. So I will know Algo's in trouble once we lose that 9 cent range. Meaning the price does this. Then we're in trouble. Okay, everyone, this will be the last one. I don't see any more requests. XLM. Stellar here, just holding that support level above the 618. It had a significant pullback from this the highest close, negative 33%. It's holding that 618, going sideways, almost like Binance coin, and still in the downtrend. I will know something significant happens once we have that bounce up to about 12 cents. As a bull, long, 12 cents is my potential. I mean, if I'm super brave, just buy 11 cents right now. But if I want to see some kind of trend change, it has to hit that 12 cents, pull back, and then start to go up again. So that's what I'm watching very closely, the 1090 support level. Okay, everyone, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for following, watching, supporting, chatting, and donating. I really appreciate it. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We also have a Twitter X group. And, just the summary is, if you're just watching right now, is we have stock market earnings season starting this week. It's going to go for 30, 40 days. We also have volatility because of what's happening in Israel war and the Hamas attack that happened this weekend. So just watching those two very closely, as well as inflation data coming out this week. Those are probably the three biggest catalysts that we know of right now. So thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe out there, and I will see you next weekend. Thank you, and bye-bye.